How do you mourn someone who hurt you? How do you grieve a person while you're still healing from what they did to you? It is one of the loneliest weights a heart can carry. To mourn someone and be relieved they can't reach you anymore in the very same breath. Today, we hold both gently without making you choose. Welcome back, loves. Welcome in if you're new to the sanctuary. This is Shadow Work Sunday, a place where we make room for the truths that don't fit neatly into any box. And grief like this doesn't fit neatly. So if you've been carrying this alone, set it down here for a while. Let's walk through it together. Now remember to take what resonates, leave what doesn't, and always use your own discernment. You are your own best guide. I'm sharing the truth Spirit has shown me and my own lived experience. This one is tender, so go slow and pause if you need to. There's no rushing this. Let's start by honoring how exhausting this specific grief is. Most grief lets you simply miss someone. This grief takes you to do two opposite jobs at once: mourn them and protect yourself from the memory of them. That's two full-time burdens in one heart. And you may not miss them, and that's okay, and this is for you too. And on top of all of this, the world hands you a rule: don't speak ill of the dead. So you swallow your real experience to keep their image clean for everyone else. But silencing your truth doesn't honor them. It just buries you. So today, we set a different intention. We make space for both the loss and the harm to be real at the same time. No sanitizing, no choosing. There's this thing that happens when someone passes away. I call it the angel effect. Death seems to rewrite their story. Suddenly, everyone remembers them as this gentle person, this kind soul, right? Almost like a saint. And if your experience of them was different than that, that can rewrite the story a bit. It can make you feel a bit insane, even like you're a liar, like you're making it up, like your own memory betrayed you. So we reframe gently, not coldly. This can bring up anger as well when people try to rewrite a story when you know the truth. You don't have to demonize them to stay loyal to your truth. You just hold the whole person, the one who was loved and the one who caused harm. Both can be true at once. And notice that even though they're gone, your nervous system might still flinch. A tone of voice, a date on the calendar, a certain phrase or a scent, and your body braces like they're still in the room. And that's not weakness. That's an old survival wiring that doesn't yet know it's safe to stand down. Now, the shadow work. People who shape us, even painfully, leave fingerprints on who we become. So gently ask, which parts of me did I shrink or hide to survive them and the experience? Which of my gifts went quiet in their presence? Reclaiming those parts is part of the healing. And here's where the intuitive layer comes in. Sometimes after someone passes, there's a lingering echo, an inner voice that still sounds like their criticism. I want you to learn to tell the difference between your true voice and that imprint that they left on you. The cruelty in your head, in their tone, that's not yours. You're allowed to give it back. And sometimes, when you're ready, you can witness the wound they carried in life. Not to excuse what they did, but to understand that hurt people often hand down their pain. That's what we call generational trauma. And that understanding does not erase your boundary or your pain or your experience. It just frees you from carrying their shadow as if it were your own. If this is bringing up a loved one you'd want to connect with or understand more deeply, there are personal readings over on my site and they're open whenever you're ready. That's a sacred one-on-one space. Of course, no rush. Let's release some of this weight now. We're going to do this together. If you're able and you feel comfortable, otherwise you can save this and come back to it at any time. So picture with me whatever still tethers you to them and gently let it loosen. Not erased, released. You can keep the love, if there was love, and set down the part that still drains you. And if there are things you never got to say, things that were impossible to speak while they were alive, say them now. Whether that's out loud, on paper, into the quiet, imagine them in the empty chair across from you and tell them the truth you had to swallow. They don't have to hear it for it to free you. And then the hardest forgiveness of all, the one for yourself, for the relief, for the anger, for the numbness, for the complicated, contradictory feelings that don't look like grief you were told you're supposed to have. All of it is allowed. None of it makes you cruel. It makes you honest. It makes you human. And if you've been following me for a while, you know I wrote a letter to my abuser. And I'll link that below in case you feel called to do the same or simply want to walk through that experience with me. It helped me say what I never got to while they were alive and release it. So I speak to you here from experience, loves. So now how do you move forward? You build a small ritual that keeps your energy protected as you step into a life without them in it. A way to honor what was real and still close the door on what hurt. And then you do the most sovereign thing of all. You decide what travels forward with you and what ends here. The traits worth keeping, you keep those. The cycles that cause the harm, you officially end those today. That's how you become a different kind of ancestor. One whose heart can grieve the past and stay open to the future at the same time. Healing and mourning, living in the same chest, the same body, the same soul, no longer at war. That's not a contradiction. That's a heart that finally got to be whole. If you've been carrying a grief like this one, leave me a candle in the comments below. You don't have to explain it, but feel free to if you're comfortable. I just want you to know that you're not alone in the complicated kind of mourningness that this is. Subscribe for next Sunday. And if you'd like a deeper one-on-one space, my readings are linked below whenever you're ready. See you all next Sunday, loves. But until then, sending you light, love, and healing. And I hope this helped.